Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm, of course, Joey Blight, as always, now at the Aftertalk with Adam. Say hello, Adam.
Hello.
And Adam, tell us what you thought about Fight Night 52.
It was good. It was one of the first fight nights I've seen since one of the first ones. The first match kind of confused me a little bit because went back and forth, couldn't tell who was going to win. Flip flopped.
What
Ended
would,
out.
yeah, what would you say you would rate the Coffee versus Sabre Jr. match out of rate of 10?
Probably 5.5.
5.5, so not too good, really. Good
Could be
opener,
better.
but that's about it.
Yeah, could be better.
Yeah. Then we had Danny Richardson, of course, already standing in the ring versus Storm and Curtis Norman. What you thought about that one?
That that one was really good. That one didn't really confuse me. I kind of guessed who was going to win, but it was weird how he was already standing in the ring.
Yeah, I think
Like,
that was something that the production crew came up with because Danny Richardson is a former World Grand Champion. That brand
oh yeah,
isn't around anymore, but he's been moved to the youngsters. That might have been the reason because Curtis Norman is actually on Fight Night, made the move a couple of months ago. So that might be the reason. I think production crew.
yeah, but that's kind of freaky how he was already in the ring and no music, no intro or anything.
Yeah, I can get that, but I think it's a production crew that sent them out. I didn't see him either. I think the only one that did see them was the local Lance crowd.
Mm.
Then we moved on to Jessica Thunder versus Mia Yim. Thinking about that one.
Now, now that one was the only one I didn't guess. No, one of the two I didn't guess.
Yeah,
No,
you went with Mia Yim indeed, and
yeah,
Jessica Thunder became the winner.
yeah. I didn't expect for Jessica Thunder because the bio that you gave her, she had come back and she was a host. I think that's what it was.
No, she had a run first as a referee.
Referee, yeah, that's it.
We had a lot of injuries, and she actually made it to become the women's champion at that time. Then when everybody came back, she became a senior referee next to Thomas Kiesling, who isn't around anymore. And well, with referees coming and going, we've decided to put her back in the ring. Actually, we know she's got the skill.
Mm.
Of course, against an experienced wrestler like Mia Yim, would have been a tough match. Didn't expect it either.
Yeah, it was kind of a flip flop. I expected May Yim to win because it looked like she had more strength, but strength can't always be seen.
That's definitely true. What you say you would give that match out of a rate of 10?
Hmm. Very good match, but not a 10 out of 10. Probably a 7.5.
7.5. We moved on to the tag team champions, Havoc and Jester the Darkness versus Dragunov and McQueeners. What do you think about that one?
That one was the best one of the show, right behind the main event. Uh, I expected the Darkness to win because they're tag team champions,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to earn them very hard. Or you could just run to the top like some people.
Yeah, that's definitely true. They did have the shot, of course, was a vacant tag team title match between
Yeah.
Dragunov and Anderson versus the Darkness. What do you think? Would Jimmy Havoc get a fine for crushing that tag team belt? It just looked like it was completely on the inside instead of what it should be.
Well, it is his. You've seen custom championships.
Yeah, that definitely is true. But I do know that Jeffrey tends to give people who don't behave within the rules a fine. So would be good for him to not get one, of course.
Yeah.
We are not that big of a promotion. We don't have huge paychecks, of course. So it wouldn't be good for say the next tag team champions to start off with a crushed tag team belt.
That'd be funny.
That would be funny indeed, but let's see where that's going to go. And we only have remaining the main event, the RFPW champion Freddie Stahl against the Syndicates now, Harvey Anderson.
That was one of the best matches I've seen just happened. I'd s- I kind of guessed it. Anders won. That's who I kind of bet would win.
Mm.
By the look, he had kind of changed his look. Most confident superstars do that. And he walked to the ring kind of like he was confident.
Yeah, of course. Before he came into a company, former MMA champion, former Fight Night general manager, even
Really?
two-time RFPW champion. So he knows what to do, of course.
Veteran.
And of course, as said, as mentioned, as always, as also in the show, he's going to get a hair cut. He's going to the hairdresser and get rid of that long hair. Would you think that would make him look even more confident with short hair?
I wouldn't know because the hair kind of covered his eyes, covered the fear.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll have to take a look at that, of course, next week. Of course, he's part of the syndicate now. Syndicate consisting of the owner Jeffrey, Harvey Anderson, of course, also being one of the trainers at the Youngsters, as well as the Anarchist, the youngest wrestler now on the roster, just age 15. What do you think that group might have in store for RPW? Will it be a change that will affect all brands, or do you think it just is just a basic fear group by Jeffrey to make people grab their opportunities more?
It might change it, probably won't. I could change it, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, well, it's of course a very young group as well as we saw on the phone. We were watching that during the show. Wolf, or even Wolf's manager, we know that Wolf doesn't speak a lot. Was looking for pack followers. Do you think that might be an inspiration for Jeffrey and the syndicate to attract him to join the syndicate?
Hmm.
Because it might be sort of become an opposition group. Might as well see Wolf singled out if he doesn't find any followers in that pack.
He probably won't because there's probably is some superstars or divas, if you would like to call them women.
Yeah,
Well,
we do tend
divas are
to
women.
call them women, or even on the youngsters, young lionesses, of course, and young lions. But I'll give the names to you, of course.
I've just heard divas all through them.
Well, of course, I'll leave you to your own opinion.
I'd call them divas, women, kind of whatever the company would like to call them. I
We prefer to call them women. We tend of divas. We've seen them in our company, and they got one or two matches and they were out of it.
mm,
Even some huge big names. We've seen Gail Kim, Mickey James come in and go within a week. So you just never know what it's going to go. But we tend to take it as women. I think that would be
yeah,
a better term to use.
yeah. So yeah, he would
Um,
probably
yeah.
Wolf would probably get some superstars and some women to join the Wolf Pack instead of joining in with Syndicate.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, good opinion. Rate of the main event out of a 10 scale. Style between Anderson. What do you think?
9.
9. Okay, that's a fairly good closer. We went up from a 5.5 to a 9. That's a good closer, I think.
If it's a main event, it deserves a big number. If it's a good match, it deserves a big number.
Good, good. Taking a look forward. Of course, we broke the news earlier today. I know that the news was broken earlier today. The youngsters going 2 hours come this week. 1 hour for the young lions and lionesses, and 1 hour for the new survivor division. What do you think about that? Would that be a good idea to extend the program and not seeing the amount of wrestling talent coming in? Nearly 40 people, 40 wrestlers joining in over the last 4 days.
That would be good for the younger wrestlers joining in. Get a boost.
Will be also, I think, a good show to the main roster, telling them
Yeah.
step it up because this is what's coming. This will be your future competition.
You're in the big time now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's good. Taking a look at that card of Boom, which is coming Wednesday. Main event: PJ Black versus Nick Aldis for the vacant World Championship. How do you think that will be?
I think it'll go down. One of them will hit the finisher. The other person will reverse it, take the finisher on the other person, slam him, get the 1, 2, 3, and take the championship.
Okay, and who would you see winning that? Would that be Black or would that be Nick, aka Magnus Aldis?
Nick.
It would be Nick Aldis, according to your opinion. Oh, well, we'll fill that in, of course. We'll keep an interactive score of your predictions as well, of course. And then we come to that first 2 hours of the Youngsters, episode 33. Three title matches. We're gonna take a run through at them. Erica Lee, defending the Young Lionesses champion, beat Mercedes Ricci early in the weekend for that at a live show at Falcons House 3, and defending it against Flora Levity, also former Fight Night general manager. I think that would be a mix-up. I don't think you know them too well. I know that you've been away for a very long time, so I don't think you would know a prediction. But if you do, let me know.
Uh, I wouldn't say. I've been looking at other wrestling productions, and I've been just looking around, and then came back to you. I was like, oh, this guy got a good one. Stay here.
So
And
you
then I
pop
got out of
back, yeah.
yeah.
It was a very long time. You know that you've been away
Yeah.
for like at least a year, but you were a good watcher of the shows back then. That's why, of course, you came back, so we've invited you back for this after talk.
Yeah.
Then to the ones you do probably know a bit more. We've seen them throughout the weekend at Falcons House shows.
I remember Wolf.
What?
Wolf is one of the ones I remember.
Wolf is in a match between Blade Dillon and Logan Williams, a triple threat match.
Ooh.
So that might be even an attraction for the Wolf Pack, or it just might be a cast off. I think if Wolf wins, then it will show his domination, of course.
The
Blade
question
Dillon, Logan
is it?
Williams, confident new competitors, eager to get the win.
But the question is, what's the stimulations? DQ?
The Blade Dillon vs Wolf vs Logan Williams match is a regular triple threat match, of course.
Oh.
No DQs and countouts, of course. So weapons are allowed.
Oh. Okay. Then if he eventually gets the wolf pack should come in, help him, clear him out. He'll get the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
Could
it could
happen.
be. Yeah, if he gathers it before Sunday, of course, when our show
Yeah.
airs.
Most likely not gonna happen though.
Most likely not. Okay, we've got that
Yeah.
written on the card then.
Because.
And then we have that main event for the youngsters.
Ooh.
Well, actually, two main events. We have the Young Lions Championship. Landon Sterling defending against Trey Savage and Dane Hayward. Dane Hayward will be debuting even then.
Oof.
After some contract issues, I remember there were. And the main event for the Survivors division, a fatal four-way, the Demon Angel versus Maverick,
Ooh.
Ryan Skills, and Casey Murphy. So that'll be something.
Yeah.
And of course, you are one of the managers. We know that you also represent a wrestler on the roster. We definitely do know that. Who did you manage again? We've had so many people I've forgotten. I'm so sorry.
I'm managing one of the new debuts, AJ. He should be coming in soon. No one would know.
He should be coming in soon. Well, we'll look forward to AJ then, and don't think he will be on the card, but definitely will be on one of the Falcons house shows. I'm confident of that, basically. Well, that's a preview of what's to come next Wednesday and Sunday, as we move on to November's pay-per-view. We don't have a lot of time for that, and I don't reckon we will make November. We've had a lot to do in version 2. Submissions for new wrestlers will close on the 30th of November at midnight, so on the 1st of December. And that will see us going into version 3. And I'm genuinely excited for that. We've seen a big boom in sign-ups everywhere, in viewers on the network. What do you think? Will this be the big expansion that RFPW needs?
I think it will be coming into the new year. Everybody will start debuting, new people, new viewers, new signups. No one knows.
No one knows. That's a good ending. Nobody knows. I'm gonna
No
thank
one
you.
ever knows.
That's exactly true. And we know that the level in RFPW is so high. We've seen championships change hands over the last weekend in daily defenses, which was quite new for us as well. And we saw some good changes made. That will conclude our after talk. I will thank you, Adam, for taking part.
It's No problem. Thank you for having me.
And probably we will see you quite soon and do another one. And of course, I will let you know. Normally, I'm on solo commentary. If you ever want to join us on commentary on one of the live shows, then feel free to let me know, and we'll invite you in.
I'd love to commentate.
I don't know how you are next Wednesday on the schedule. Will be the same time as today.
Next Wednesday.
This Wednesday actually.
Oh, this Wednesday.
This
Oh, yeah.
Wednesday.
I'll be here.
This
I'll be there.
Wednesday, and of course, the upcoming Sunday, the 30th or 29th, I think it is. So maybe we have a new commentator. That would be exciting as well.
Yeah.
We'll conclude this Fight Night After Talk Wednesday, Boom 44. I'll be looking forward to that, and we'll of course see Adam then as well as again. You have anything left to say to the viewers?
Hope you liked Fight Night. See you later. Peace out.
That will definitely be happening. We'll see you from Adam as well as me, Joey Blight. Good night. And that concludes that recording.